the company section looks a lot cleaner, but we'll get to that. So
And
for
we'll
our work section, we have the modal effect for each icon that shows the name of what the icons represent. If we go,
we'll get rid of the.
And I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that spelling error. We have a page that tells you about cybersecurity.
Mm-hmm.
We have the about page leads back to our main page.
Mm-hmm.
For the about company part. The companies, we have a separate page for each company.
Yep.
And like I said, on the other version, there's a lot more styling to it, but we weren't able to merge it.
One second.
Yeah, we were supposed to merge it yesterday, and I left it with yeah. We'll talk about that later. So the contact page is on the main page as well. When you click on it, it goes all the way down.
Right.
We used to have a full contact page, but then realized that since your email was already there, it's kind of redundant.
Right. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we have.
Can you stop for 1 second, Derek?
Yeah, go on.
I'm just making the thing stop for a second, so I'm making sure it still is recording the screen.
Okay.
It's like the second I decide to actually, do everything, that's when it decides to just not work. All right.
Excuse me.
Should work in a second.
No problem.
Opening in 1 second. Opening when complete.
What are you doing, Matthew?
OBS uninstalled for a second. Or not uninstalled, but it closed.
Okay.
I don't
want to waste time for our recording because we're still recording, so.
Well, it's actually not recording.
Oh, it's not?
That's why I stopped it. That's it closed. I'm opening it right now. Should it? Oh, wait, you have? Oh, never mind. Okay. Never mind. Thank you, Thomas.
Anywho, so yeah, I just showed you the contact section, yeah. And then for our quiz section, we have a really basic 10 question quiz.
Mm-hmm.
So if you click on it, just trying to look through it really fast. It will, once you submit it, it will show you how much you got wrong or how much you got right over how much the total is.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a link to your main page here. That goes to your main page. And so yeah, we ran into quite a few not quite a few complications, but we found it important that everyone communicated and was on the same page when it came to using GitHub. So a situation like this won't happen again. But yeah, that is our project. We learned a lot.
Good.
There was also, like I said, a lot of complications and things like that we try to work through together, and try to.
And we will definitely fix those before we send it over for you, so that way if we have them for you once it's in a better state.
I just wish that we had, I guess, more time.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, it's definitely, I think that there's, a couple of comments that I would make. First of all, thank you guys. I know there was a lot of work and time and effort that went into this, and I know a big part of what you're doing in this project is sort of learning, what it is and how complicated it can be to actually sort of run a project with multiple people. And I think that's a good experience compared to real life, because real life is a lot like this. You wind up with products that don't work the way that you want them to work, or members of the team who can't figure out how to use the products that you've agreed upon, or challenges with the client. In your case, I'm the client. Challenges with the client who has crazy travel schedules and is all over the place and has, a challenge communicating with you just because I'm on the road a lot. So I had to do a lot of things through email. Sometimes I know that, and this will happen with you in the future when you work with clients, they may not be super clear in email. You may have to ask clarifying questions. And a big part of this is just beginning to develop the skill to understand how to be a project manager, how to run a project. And that's a skill that you're going to use throughout your whole life, right? I mean, everything in your life is a project. And so figuring out how to sort of set it up at the beginning and say, this is what the project actually is, and this is what the timeline is, and this is how much we can bite off to do in a 4-week period or whatever. Those are all, kind of not just work critical skills, but life critical skills. And like you said, I think you guys learned a lot, and it was fun and interesting for me to be a part of it. And in the end, I think I've got some stuff that I can use, or at least I can go back to my web partners and we can look at it as far as benchmarking work or other things that we can use to improve the site that we have. So, I mean, if it's not perfect, it's really hard to get it perfect, right? First of all, I don't know that any of these things ever wind up being totally perfect, but you made a valiant effort given the time that you had and the challenges that I think I presented in all of this too. But the site looks good, and I really do appreciate all the work that you guys did to pull this off. It was a lot of fun working with you, even though a lot of it was kind of email back and forth, and we didn't get to spend as much time as I think I would like to have had on the phone or in person. But those were my challenges, not yours.
Yeah, I think that I think the biggest takeaway for us as a group, especially, is communication and I can't even say the word. Just being specific in general. I think that it's important that, for one, it's important to communicate, but to be specific as possible so that we all can be on the same page. And so, yeah, we didn't have that. I think we would have more trouble. But yeah, I think for the amount of communication that we had, we did okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think we all did okay.
I think the biggest problem we faced was the streamlining of the communication more than anything, of making sure everyone knew what everyone was doing at the exact same time.
Yeah. Yeah, that again is a challenge that you will face as you move into the work world. And if it's tough with how many people on your team?
4.
4. Yeah. If you think it's tough with 4, imagine the point at which you're running a department or a company that has 300 or 30,000 people, and trying to get all of them on the same page and be transparent and try to figure out how to put up sort of guardrails to keep them all running in the same direction or moving in the same direction. It's a challenge, but you're I mean, this is what these kind of projects are for. You're learning a ton doing something like this. And if you can get the skills right here, the project management skills, the transparency, the group, the teamwork kind of skills, they scale to, however big they need to be. So I think you guys took all this really seriously. I think you worked really hard to pull it off, and you learned a lot in the process. And like I said, that's to me was what this was all about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Once we get the stuff fixed on that, like the final, the little touches, and we merge the two, I'll send you the files through an email.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Okay. I'll talk to you guys later. Yell anytime.
Talk to you guys later.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.